release the wheel, let the car drift to the wall. The spotter covers your left rear, typically, and you take care of the right rear. Your spotter confirms, it's sort of your conscience. He'll confirm what you're supposed to already know. Imagine this being the final 5 laps of the race. This is where you earn your money. This is what separates good from great. Check the mirror, let it drift. You're coming down the front stretch. You got a lap car in front of you. Has he been preferring the high side? Okay, I already made my mind up. I'm going to the low side. Back to the accelerator, but not clear. Spotter saying outside. Check the mirror. You know you're going to be clear.
Clear.
It's great stuff.
And it's fun. This is why you love to do it for so many years.
Yeah, this is as good as it gets.
Vince Welch is covering the 54 tonight. Vince, as we look underneath, Vince, take a look.
Yeah, indeed. Hornish being challenged, and Keselowski's been poking his nose around the outside, but this time peeking on the inside. One thing that Hornish says is working with the car right now, he feels like he's got some pretty good drive off. Maybe that's one of the reasons Keselowski hasn't been able to get around the outside, as Hornish says that the car right now is working pretty well as he gets off the corner. Crew Chief Adam Stevens just told him a few moments ago, 40 laps on the tires. Take care of it. Still a long way to go.
Thanks, Vince. Now he's looking to the outside. This is awesome.
It is outstanding. And you know, the only way this works is if you have trust in one another.
Keselowski motoring high, motoring by, and he's going to take the lead from Hornish.
Sam made him earn it, and Brad Keselowski has more respect for Sam than he did 15 minutes ago. I mean, that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but honestly, that's how you gain credibility in this business.
Took him 48 laps of working that 54 car to try to get around him, and I think, as you said, maybe holding a few cards back, but being patient for sure. As you said, trusting the driver you're racing with. Good stuff here at Iowa. Hey, getting back to that onboard shot we saw with Sam, did you notice he never blinked?
Yeah, I suppose you probably got to blink at some point, right? But
maybe when the 22 passed, maybe he took time to do it then.
When you're at your best, everything around you slows down, and you are ahead of the car. The car doesn't surprise you when you are at your best. Now, I've been at my best and I've been at my worst, and when you're at your worst, you feel like the car's driving you. The car does surprise you. You could be loose getting in the corner and be late. That's a miserable way to live. And gosh, it's fun when you've got confidence and you've got a good car. And that's what we're seeing out of Sam Hornish right now.
I think Keselowski must have seen that Sam was coming up on his most lap-led point that he could have gained. So Brad now back to the point and chalking up those laps to see if he can walk away with that championship point for the 22 team. Here's the lead as they've spread it out right now for Brad Keselowski.
You can tell that Sam ran hard to stay ahead of Brad Keselowski because it took a toll on the car, and he's lost about 0.2 a lap. He was running 24.70s. He's drifted back to 24.90s. And the risk now is that he took all the good out of the tires.
So the seesaw battle of the 2254, if it looks familiar to you, looks familiar to us too. Back in May, it was Ryan Blaney in the 22, Sam Hornish in this 54, who went back and forth. And on that day, Sam led a career-high 167 laps here at the Iowa Speedway. He passed the 22 with 22 to go in May. Can he do it again tonight? Sunday Night Baseball, of course, it's Derek Jeter on his final run with the Yankees, traveling with the team to Boston to take on the Red Sox. And as Ricky reminded me, Big Papi. That's Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell. Yankees versus Red Sox, 8 on ESPN. You can also watch it live on Watch ESPN. Moon's out, not a cloud in the sky. That's the kind of weekend we've had here. It has been really, really nice weather-wise. Sorry if it's rained where you are. Having other weather issues, but the fans have enjoyed a wonderful weekend here. And another great battle between these two great drivers, Ricky.
Yeah, and their first and second place finishes, well, quite a history, isn't it?
Really is. And, of course, this race last year, Brad Keselowski prevailing over Sam Hornish Jr. So Kes, with that on his mind, we'll see if he can keep that up. as we're now in the longest green flag stretch of the night, 61 laps since they've last been on pit road.
Dave, we got about 12 laps before you see some drivers hit pit road. Green flag stops are never easy. They're completely different than pitting under caution, obviously. This track is a little challenging because of the banking and the separation down to the apron. Pretty severe.
Getting onto pit road.
Yeah, getting
Blowing
on.
the car down from, 120 in the corners to pit road speed, which is 40 miles an hour?
Yeah, and we're racing at night, and you got to get the driver's attention behind you. You got to wave him off, and that's really difficult to see through these tall spoilers in the back. Then there's a lot of opportunity for trouble because you got to obviously monitor pit road speed, but you got to wait until you get to turn 2 to blend back in. There's a double yellow line. Once you hit that double yellow line, you can blend in.
Last August, we did not have green flag pit stops. This May, we did not have, but last June, we did have some green flag pit stops as Dylan Kwasniewski moves up the racetrack a little bit, loses that car a bit. That gives Brian Scott a chance to challenge for 8th. And he's got it. See, the last 6 races have had at least one green flag stretch of 64 laps or more here at Iowa.
So race car drivers love to go fast, and the typical attitude of a race car driver is a pit stop is a necessary evil. Okay, it's just an opportunity to mess up.
Yeah.
And but you got to do it. And we see Kenny Wallace hitting pit road, and so that might be the beginning.
Sounds like the start of a round of pit stops here. Wallace right now giving up a position a bit further back. Kenny making his one start here this season so far. 21st he was running when he hit pit road. So since our leaders are going to be hitting pit road very, very soon, Keselowski among them, we're going to take our break now in case we get those green flag stops. I want to give you everything you can see, and it's not going to happen. Dakota Armstrong with trouble, and that's going to bring out the caution.
Maybe a tire. Get fired up again.
He was 16th and on the lead lap when that happened.
Something in the rear just snapped on me.
Sounds like the car just came around, Ricky.
Yeah, and
therefore, are you running?
you get a good shot of it to see if the tire was actually going down or if it was a product of flat swatting the tires.
Now, I remember earlier in the race they had made a strategy play to move Dakota further up in the line. 2-tire stop. Last time, I'm almost certain they took on 4 tires for the 43. Let's look at the 43 and what just happened, Ricky. See him low line there coming off the corner.
Yeah, you can see the right rear is actually coming apart.
And James Buescher a little out of shape, too, coming off the corner.
Yeah, he did a great job considering he was on 3 tires. He blows the right front out as he locks up, but it's a pretty good job.
Kept it off the inside wall here at the Iowa Speedway. And he will come to the attention of his Richard Petty Motorsports crew ahead of the field. Pit road is still closed at this point.
This is your moment, pit crew.
Well, and looking at it, Ricky, there's 65 laps left.
It's maybe the
in
last
the event
time
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, this may be it. This may be the last time they see pit road.
So while Dakota Armstrong gets his car serviced, everyone else talking about what they will do, what they might not do. As you mentioned, the pressure on the pit crews right now.
Yeah, Trevor Bayne had a little bit of trouble at the end of his pit stop on the previous stop, and little things mean a lot. He stalled, leaving pit road, cost him a couple seconds. It could be the difference between winning and losing. Certainly the difference between leaving pit road first or fourth.
And we saw the front of the field change on the last round of pit stops as well. So we'll see if Hornish's crew was able to gain on Keselowski here at the front. Mike Bliss, you see there on the outside, he is the recipient of the free pass this time. And Vince Welch is first on pit road.
Sam Hornish Jr. has been pretty pleased with his race car, but the one problem they've had throughout the night that they haven't gotten just right is that it's just been a little bit too free on entry. And Sam says that's still the issue at this point. The drive-off is good, but just too free on entry. 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment, Sunoco fuel. Rick?
of Brad Keselowski. They had talked a long time ago about possibly making some changes. He changed his mind. More than 70 laps on these tires. Overall, very good. Let's go down to Michael McDowell, quietly running all race. He's been doing some tire management, comfortable that things are going well. You see a minor change in the back, put some Sunoco fuel in. And then, of course, we got Trevor Bayne, the guy in the lead in that Dash for Cash battle, coming in. He's been concerned about his car all night, but he's managed to run up front. And you see he manages to slot himself in very nicely coming off pit road.
Great stop for Keselowski at just the right time.
Every one of them did a great job in the top four. I mean, they really did their job. Left it into the driver's hands.
And Trevor Bayne got that spot back. He might have given up last time to come off pit road third. We'll be back with a restart here at Iowa. Green flag has just come out at Iowa. Leader Keselowski holds his line over Sam Hornish. And on pit road, they held their positions. It's side by side down the backstretch.
Sam Hornish did a great job through 1 and 2. Excellent job.
Keselowski now leaning for the advantage, and he'll have it coming off the corner cleanly by the 54.
Yeah, he took 3 and 4 with authority. You see Brian Scott pulling out.
Diving down to challenge for fourth. He's not going to be able to do it this time.
Nice, cool, fresh tires. This is the best the car is going to drive from here probably to the finish. Chase Elliott makes a move around the outside.
Scott still holding that bottom line. We see Michael McDowell picked up a spot over Trevor Bayne on the restart. Lost it on pit road, got it back. You're on board with Elliott Sadler.
New tires fix everything, Dave. Car handles better, brakes better, accelerates up off the corner better. It doesn't last very long, though.
58 laps to go to decide it here at Iowa. We think they pitted for the last time. Certainly, if we stay green, that'll be true.
Chase McLaren.
Trevor pedaling that gas pedal. The look back from Elliott.
What's interesting is Chase didn't choose to go back down to the low lane, so he's sort of favoring the high line through 1 and 2.
Chase restarted 8th. He's up to 4th, so he had a great restart.
Regan Smith has been quiet tonight, but he's climbed up to 7th.
And did Sadler's crew make an improvement to that 11 car right behind Regan Smith? The 11 of Sadler battling with Kwasniewski. There he is. Kwasniewski gets a position for now.
Dave, we're entering the dog days of summer. One of these drivers is going to have to step up and say, hey, this is my title. I'm going to take it. And it looks to me like all four are making that argument, meaning Chase Elliott, Ty Dillon, Regan Smith, and Elliott Sadler.
Yep, as they run right now, Chase Elliott is the championship leader by 7 over his teammate Regan Smith. We haven't decided this one yet. Now Buescher to the inside of Sadler. Chris Buescher in that 60 making his way through. Ty Dillon's in the 9th position. Buescher takes over 10th.
Ooh, a little loose on the entry. You see that?
Bobble right there. Castle trying to take advantage off of 2.
This is a great save because anytime you get loose, you have to turn right.
Landon Castle's going to move through now and take over that 11th position from Chris Buescher. His car is hard to drive right now.
Yeah, he's going to pay for heating up that right rear tire, at least for a few laps.
Back up front to 5th. Brian Scott to the inside. Trevor Bayne trying to hang on the outside.
You know, Brian Scott's kind of come alive here again. I thought he looked really good early in the race. Sort of stalled out. And now it looks like they're making some gains again.
And 2 blue spoilers. Yes, that is the battle right there for the $100,000, the nationwide Dash for Cash.
Hey, how about there were 2 fans riding along with them right now?
Yep.
With a lot of incentive.
Instead of to outscream the other one right now. Remember, they were paired up before the race started. One lucky fan, whichever of the drivers who are eligible for the Dash for Cash finishes first, they'll get $100,000 as well. What a night.
Yeah, these guys have been running side by side long enough that cars are going to get a little edgy.
And don't think they don't know, obviously. This is what they're racing for. Of course, Brian Scott still looking for that first win in the series. That would be big for him, but that check is not bad either.
So as long as there's a separation like we have here, nearly a car width between them, both cars have air coming over both sides of the car, so they have good downforce. It's when they go into the corner really close that the inside car becomes compromised. That's when it could get ugly.
That's where we saw Chris Buescher get in a little bit of trouble a few laps ago.
Exactly.
Yep. So Trevor clearing to the high side now, but